a new season has started. A few senior heads have been recruited to go with some hungry youngsters. Has that heaped a little pressure on yourself, or is it just an exciting feeling for you?
I think it's just an exciting feeling, really. The pressure isn't really on me. It's not really on the guys. We're here to play hockey, have a bit of fun, and actually make it worth something for everybody around us. So no pressure, right, Sam?
No pressure.
No pressure. Sam, as a seasoned campaigner, playing alongside youngsters in D and being captain, the recruitment of some of the senior players must be a massive help. But how much input did you have on the selection of those players? Because you have played with them in the past and know their mental strengths.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to know what you're getting when you're bringing people in, and having been around Oxford for so long, and the guys you brought in even longer than me, it was fairly easy to agree with Jeff's decisions. Um, I think he gives me a bit more input than he really needs to, but I like that, and I think um, we're building something good here. And yeah, it's nice to have familiar faces around. Just makes it easier, makes the room more comfortable, I think, for everybody, and especially the younger guys who have grown up watching the experienced guys we brought in this year. I think for them it's like it's like goals achieved. Really, they really happy. So I think so far it's going good. Yeah.
Jeff, the question for you, apart from being what keeps you so happy, but we'll get on to that one in just a moment, is you can train muscles, you can build strength. How important is it for you for the mental growth of the youngsters as you coach this side?
Oh, I think this is one of the most important aspects, actually. And it's probably one of the biggest things that we're trying to drill into the younger players now is how to think the game, how to correctly identify situations on the ice, be able to react in the right ways, and not just necessarily react, but be the person that makes the other team react to what you're doing because you've just made a smart play by going somewhere open ice, by supporting the right player, doing all these things. So the mental aspect is exactly the most important part of the game at this level. You know, when they're coming through, they're juniors, they're learning how to use their body, they're learning actually how to build muscles, and now they're learning to play the game. And that's a huge part of what this team is going to be about this year, and a huge part of what we want to really drum into the younger players.
Sammy, I come back to you. You know, ice hockey is a physical sport, and whether you like it or not, it can attract some lively players and some dark arts on the ice. How, as a captain, do you impart the knowledge of when to play or fight fire with fire and when to not react for the youngsters?
I think I'm more the school of staying out of it as much as possible, but obviously sometimes it can't be avoided. It's full contact sport. Um, you got to look after each other, and to be honest, that's something I think we lacked last season a bit. We got bullied a bit by certain teams. We're not the biggest team in the league. I think what's our average height, like 5'8" or something.
Yeah.
So we were lacking a bit in that last season, but I think already in our first two games, played in Victor away, that's one of their tactics. They try to bully you, and although we came out with a few injuries, I don't feel like they did that to us this year. And then in Lee Valley was similar outcome. I think we're looking a bit tougher, and we're looking like we're playing for each other a bit more, which is so far a really good start.
Jeff, I come back to you. You know, after 2 seasons in NIHL2, some youngsters can no longer sit back and say, I wasn't prepared or I didn't realise it would be like this. How do you, as a coach, critique them at the right times and support them?
That's a relatively tricky question because each one of the players are different. Um, some of them might respond to a little bit of tough love. Some of them might respond to a quiet words, immediately after a shift or during a training session. Um, some of them like to hear it as a group. It's really a tricky thing to balance from, especially the younger players who aren't necessarily used to getting yelled at all the time, and that's not really what we're about here either. Is we're not yelling and screaming. We're sort of trying to get the right message across to each one of those kids, and like I said, each one's different. So unique players, unique situations.
Okay, Sam, improvements with the Rising Stars have continued, but what is the goal, do you think, as a group for this season?
Aside from getting the best results that we can, I think we just want to see improvement every week. We want to see everybody taking steps, picking up on things that didn't go right in the last game or the last training, and asking, how can I be better? What do I need to do differently? I think a main thing is playing as a team. I think through stretches last season, and it was more about personal points maybe. Whereas I think definitely this year we want to be working together. Results for the team is better than your own plus minus. So I think for me it's that creating a better atmosphere, and the results will come from that hopefully.
And the final question for you, Jeff. How important to the success of the Rising Stars is the off-ice team and the volunteers from its management directors all the way through?
No, I don't think anybody can really appreciate how important everybody that is working behind the scenes are. We have so many good people that are doing it for the right reasons, trying to build something that is successful and is a nice pathway for young players coming through, for sort of older players to come back and act as mentors, and maybe even we can convince a couple of guys to coach. But it's all because of all of the volunteers that we have. We've got a physio down here tonight helping with some of the injuries. We've got you here talking to us now. We've got loads of people that are out there making this happen for us and for the fans that will hopefully come and watch. So you say how important are they? They are entirely critical to absolutely everything that we do.